Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Hey, everybody. How are you doing? Y'all, how is everybody doing? I was busy working on some artwork so that when we do this, it looks a little bit more interesting. So, good morning, good afternoon, guys. We got halfway through. I don't know if that's a good marker of how long it's going to take for us to get through every transcript before we like it's going to take 2 sessions per, because they're like, a couple 200 to 300 pages a piece. But we're going to see. It's not really like it's that many. I mean, we'll just keep plowing through. I thought yesterday was really interesting. We got through a few witnesses. Um, and the thing that we're missing is that we're not getting the real life experience of getting to see all of the body cam when it's happening, or some of the evidence. But this is what happens when they don't televise a trial, so we're getting the best that we can. I know a lot of you guys wanted to get the details, and the details we just don't have everything all in one nice little package like we would like. But if you were there, then you got to see everything. And most of us who were not, we're reading the testimony. Okay. Anywho, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Yes, put your manicure hands in the chat. Thank you so much. Make sure to tap in as you come in. So we're back on September 30th. And this is actually day 5, what they would consider of the trial, but it's really day 1 testimony. You guys know sometimes it takes a day. I mean, gosh, how long did it take for YSL? Hundreds of days to pick a jury. So in this particular case, it took 3.5 days to pick a jury. Day 1, half of the day was motions and a couple of other things. And then there were days of jury selection, and then now we are at day 1 testimony. So if you're new here, hadn't been here, and trying to figure out what's going on, as I just stated, we are on September 30th, 2025, day 1 testimony. So I guess fill in the blanks. You can figure out that we are currently reading the testimony. We are reading the transcript, and that's what's going on. Okay. So if you're new here, welcome. And that is what's going on. So you guys talk amongst each other, and we are on page, let's see where, let me get to, just 1 second. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. Oh, okay. All right, I've got my water. Okay, let's get into it. So, we just finished with the testimony. So yesterday's video ended with the testimony of Rovelto Robinson, and we're going to go into the testimony of Jemiah Anthony. So let's go ahead and get into it. And here we are again. I guess this is basically part 2 of September 30th testimony. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So Jemiah Anthony was sworn in by the clerk. You may be seated. Witness Jemiah Anthony, thank you. Your witness, thank you. Jemiah, having been duly sworn and examined. Okay, so this is the direct examination by Miss Lapella. Okay, good afternoon. What do you do for work? I mean, she just went and got right into it. Okay, good afternoon. She says, good afternoon. She says, what do you do for work? I work in car sales. What state do you work in car sales? North Carolina. Do you live in North Carolina? Yes, ma'am. Now, back in July of 2022, were you living in Broward County, Florida? Yes, ma'am. How old were you in July of 2022? 16. July 12th, 2022 to July 13th, 2022. Were you at the Tamarick Village Apartments? Yes, ma'am. Do you recall the building number you lived in? Yes, ma'am. What building number was that? Building 7, 930, 9351. And what was the apartment number? Who were you living with at the time? My mom. What's your mom's name? Kimmy Fung. What is that? Kimmy Fung. Could you spell that last name? Fung. Thank you. So on the night of July 12th, 2022, Friday into early morning hours, Saturday, July 13th, 2022, did anything happen while you were home? Yes. What happened? I received an unknown knock on my door. Do you know around what time it was? Around like 2:30, 3 a.m. in the morning. Now, when you heard this knock, did you open the door? Yes. Why did you do that? Because I thought it was one of my mom's friends at the door. Had you been awake or asleep prior to hearing the knock at the door? I was awake. What did you see when you went up to the door? I seen a masked woman. Do you know this person? No. Did you still open the door anyway? Yes. Now, you said you saw a masked woman. Did that person ever take their mask off? Yes. When they, what kind of mask are you talking about? Like a COVID mask. Did that person ever take the mask off of their face? Yes. And when they did, were you able to see the entirety of their face? Yes. And how so? Were you able to see the face? The hallway was lit up. And the mask, was it taken completely off to lower half of the person's face? Yes. When you were able to see the person's face, did you get a good look at their face? Yes. How long would you say your encounter was with this person on that day? Maybe like 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes during the interaction, what is this other person's demeanor like? A little aggressive. What happens after the person knocks on your door? She asked me about her purse or her bag. And what did she say about her purse or her bag? That she's sitting down on the stairs and that somebody opened the door and took it. Was she asking you if you had her bag? Yes. And what did you reply? That I don't know what she's talking about. Did that person say anything else to you? Yes. She asked me how old I was, if I was home alone. Were you home alone? Were you home alone? Yes. There were these questions making you feel uncomfortable? Yes. So what did you do? Close the door. Did anything else happen after you closed the door? I heard a banging like 20 to 30 minutes later, or I'm not sure who it was. Miss Ross, I'm sorry, Judge. We didn't catch any of that. The court, can you repeat yourself? Speak a little louder and yeah, you're already up to the microphone. Okay, so speak a little louder, please. I heard a knock at the door 20 to 30 minutes later, but I'm not sure who it was. Did you end up opening the door the second time? No. Why not? I was uncomfortable, so I called my mom instead. Now, after you called your mom, did you end up speaking to the police? That not that night, but after. At some point, do you talk to the police? Yes. And did you agree to do a photographic lineup with the police? Yes. Miss Lapella showing the defense what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit G for identification composite of 8. Permission to approach the bench? Yes, you may. And Miss Anthony, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit G. It's consistent. It consists of 8 pages. If you would please look through this and then look up when you're done. Do you recognize states G? This that I showed you? Yes. Okay. And how is it that you're able to recognize it? Because my signature is on it. And does this fairly and accurately depict the photographic lineup that you were shown on July 22nd of 2022? Yes. Miss Lapella, Your Honor, at this time, the state moves into evidence what's been pre-marked as states G and composite of 8. Any objection? No objection. It will come in as number 7. Permission to publish? Yes, you may. Okay, Jemiah, the screen's going to light up in front of you. Are you able to see the exhibit? She says it's a little blurry, but okay. Yeah, I see it better. Yeah. Okay, now you said you recognize this because your name is on it. Where is your name? On top and in the middle and at the bottom. Okay, so you said your name is here at the top, the middle, the bottom. Yes. And this is your handwriting and your signature, correct? Yes. Okay, now when you were shown the above photographic array, are you able to pick somebody out? Yes. I'm turning to page 3. Are those your initials? Yes. Is that the date that you chose the person from the photographic lineup? Yes. Is that the time you chose the person? Yes. Now, when you're looking through the photographic array with the law enforcement officer, did you pick this person out quickly? Yes. And did you look at all the other photographs as well? Yes. In the array, where is it that you did the photographic lineup, if you remember? In the kitchen. So the police went to your apartment? Yes. And when you were with law enforcement at any point, did she pressure you to pick somebody? No. Did she force you to pick somebody? No. And do you recall telling law enforcement what percent you thought the person was that you did pick out from the photographic array? Yes. And the percent was 95. Now, as you sit here today in 2025, do you still believe with 95% certainty that that is the person that came to your door in July 13th of 2022? Yes. Now, when the person came to your door on that day, do you recall what they were wearing? Yes. They were wearing what they were wearing, a black Yankees cap, black sweatpants, and designer shoes. And when you say designer shoes, what kind of designer shoes? They were Prada. How do you know that? I just know the shoe. When you lived at Tamarack Village and on this day specifically, did you have a ring camera on your apartment? Yes. Do you know if it was working or not? Yeah, but it was dead. Do you know Kayla, or did you know Kayla Hodgson at all? No. Did you know anybody by name of Sakiyna Thompson? No. Just a moment, Your Honor. Sure. I apologize, Miss Anthony. I had asked you about the second time when there was knocking at the door. Was that knock or a bang? It was a bang. So it was louder than the first time. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Judge, I have nothing further. Any questions? Miss Gilbert says yes, Judge, briefly. Okay, so Miss Gilbert for the defense. Hold on, let me catch this up a little bit. Uh-huh. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, so you testified on direct that you heard a knock on your door around 2:30 a.m., correct? Yes. Okay, you live in building, well, at the time you lived in building 7, correct? Yes. Which was adjacent to building 5, correct? Yes. Okay, and when you heard the knock, you looked through the peephole first? Yes. Okay, and you saw a woman with a COVID mask, correct? Yes. Okay. And you opened the door to see who that person was and what the person needed, correct? Yes. Okay, and when the person opened the door, You can't really hear her with a mask, correct? Yes. Okay. So she pulls the mask completely down, correct? Yes. She's not concealing herself from you, correct? No. Are you able to see exactly who she is? Right? Yes. You testified on direct that the interaction with her took about 5 minutes, right? Yes. You'd agree that that's like a pretty long time to stand in front of somebody and talk, right? Yes. Okay, so you got a good look at her, right? And she said, it says no audible response. Okay, so she asked you if you'd seen a bag that she left around, correct? Yes. So she was looking for her belongings, correct? Yes. She thought that somebody took it or something like that, correct? Yes. Okay. And when you testified on direct also that you had a ring camera on, correct? Yes. And was it dead at the time, right? Yes. And you didn't tell Miss Thompson that that ring camera was dead, correct? She didn't know what it was. She didn't know that it was dead. No? Okay. And then the second time that you heard a knock on your door, you never got up to see who that was, correct? Correct. You testified that about 30 minutes after, correct? Correct. You don't know if that was the same person or not, correct? Correct. May I have a moment to confer? Sure. No further questions, Judge. Okay. Thank you very much. If you want to hear more of what Jemiah actually had to say to the detective, the audio of that interaction with the detective is in the playlist. There's like a video that says detective interviews, and in the detective interviews there is like the audio recording of the detective talking to Jemiah soon after this happened. So if you want to like go back and hear more detail, um I guess the important thing in this particular testimony is that she put Sakina on in the vicinity of the crime scene. So, obviously there's surveillance footage and there's other things, but this is someone that she actually interacted with. So she's important because she places her there. So, okay. And she also said that she was aggressive. Okay. Okay. So next witness they're calling is Lisa Almanzo Londo, last name Londono. Your witness. Okay, having been duly sworn and examined. Okay, so Miss Lapella is going to do her direct of Miss Londono. Good afternoon. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, good afternoon. What do you, and then she just goes right in. Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. What do you do for work? I work for the Broward Sheriff's Office in the capacity of a sergeant. How long have you been with Broward Sheriff's Office? I've been with BSO for 8 years, a little bit over 8 years. What is your current unit and what are you sergeant over? Right now, sergeant over City of Oakland Park. Now, when you became involved with this incident, were you with the same city? No, I was actually serving as a detective for the unit of violent crimes in Broward Sheriff's Office. And while you're involved with the violent crimes unit, how do you become involved in the case of the state versus Sakiyna Thompson? I was on a call and on a Friday night, and Detective Ian Kuchler called me to assist with the investigation of this case, requested me to show a photographic array, and I responded. Now, when you're responding and you're told you need to do a photographic array, do you know anything about the case whatsoever? I don't. So, and normally that's when they request us, is because I work in a different unit than homicide. So you didn't know any of the suspects, correct? Correct. You didn't know any of the victims, correct? You didn't know any of the victims, correct. You didn't know any of the witnesses, correct. And did you, in fact, respond to the call out for the photographic array with Miss Anthony? Correct. I'm showing you what's already been marked as States Exhibit 7. If you could just flip through this, please, Sergeant, and let us know what is the array, what that this is the array that you did with Miss Anthony. Yes. State 7, in fact, the same photo array. Correct. Do you recall where you went to conduct this photographic array with Miss Anthony? Approximately like 9,300 block of West Commercial Boulevard in the city of Tamarack. Was that her apartment? Yes. Yes, that's correct. And how was it set up for you to do this array with Miss Anthony? Because I have no connection to this case and don't know anybody involved or really what happened. When I responded, the detective in charge hands me 6 photographs and instructions, which I have to read to the witness. I read the instructions, I conduct the photo array, give it back to the primary detective, and that's my involvement in the case. So I'm illuminating and publishing State 7. This is the first page of the record. We see some print here that is on top of the page. Basically, this is what we read to the witness because most people that we show a photographic array have never seen this. That we do is that we have to read clear instructions from this paper, and this is what it is. So I have to write the name of the person who's going to be involved in the photo array, the date, the time, and I'm showing it. And when I read the clear instructions word by word of what I'm going to do and show them, do these instructions include the fact that the perpetrator may not even be in the photographic array? Correct. And do they also include the importance of excluding someone who is innocent as opposed to identifying a perpetrator? Correct. Do you advise the individual that the investigation will continue whether or not they pick someone? We do. Now, as to Miss Anthony specifically, did you tell her that she should be compelled to make an identification in any way? No. As to the matter, the instructions say otherwise. They don't need to feel obligated or they don't need to feel pressure to make an identification because with or without it, the investigation will continue. Did you personally pressure her, Miss Anthony, in any way? I don't know who the suspect is or was, so I can't really pressure them to do anything. Did you threaten Miss Anthony in any way to make an identification? No. And now moving to the third page of this composite, when someone makes an identification, do they mark it in any way? We normally this is what I do. I have them circle the picture when they make an identification. I have them initial it, sign it, and date it. And in this particular case, did Miss Anthony initial, date, and put the time on her selection? Correct, she did. Judge, I have nothing further for this witness. Miss Gilbert says no questions, Your Honor. Okay, thank you very much. Miss Johnson, may I have a bathroom? Miss Johnson says, may I have a bathroom break? The court sure will take a break. The court says his eyes are blurry, so it's 20 to 3. Okay, we'll take a 15-minute break. Ladies and gentlemen, so they're getting ready to take a break. Let's see what's going on here. Judge, I wasn't assuming. Okay, so they're having some conversation. Let's see what's going on here. Miss Barrios. Okay, always happens that way. Go. Judge, if we can just address one thing before starting with this witness. Okay, hold on. Eric, yes. Always happens that way. Go ahead. I believe that Your Honor had reserved ruling on one of the issues about eliciting testimony about Miss Tate going to a club and assuming that Miss Thompson was there. So this is the next witness that's coming up. So I don't know if Your Honor wants to address it now. So Miss Johnson for the prosecution and judge, it wasn't assuming that Miss Thompson was there. It was they were doing a motion in limine to prevent me from talking about this entire encounter. The encounter involves the next witness, Jennisa Taitt, who's also in the detective interviews in my playlist. So if you have gone through the playlist, and you probably already heard it, but there's some detective interviews and there's an audio recording of the detective talking to Jennisa soon after the murder. Involves the next witness, Jennisa Taitt, and the victim were going to be going to a club, and they were going to the club at the invitation of Terry Thurmagen, who is the defendant's boyfriend. Okay. And then they arrive at the club. Terry is outside and he is blowing up the victim's phone, telling the victim to not to come inside the club. This next witness, Jennisa Taitt, proceeds to go into the club. Kayla does not go inside of the club. She stays outside with Terry and never goes in. When Jennisa goes inside the club, she observes the defendant. She makes observation of the defendant, what she was wearing, and where she was sitting. In her deposition, in her statement, she did indicate that she looked like she was ready to fight. I have already agreed to the portion of the motion in limine that is speculation, and I'm not getting into that. But I definitely seeking to get into the entire encounter as it relates to another time there was an encounter where it would have been Kayla, this where it would have been Kayla, this next witness. And in addition to that, when this next witness is shown surveillance from the night of Kayla's homicide, she made identifications. And part of the identifications was made based on the fact that she had seen the defendant in person before. And it is only one time before that she saw the defendant in person. And that time was this encounter at the club. And this is Miss Ross. And Judge, and according to her deposition, the identification that she made with Detective Kuchler, and Detective Kuchler also said this deposition came from Miss Thompson's Instagram, as we discussed. So yeah, that's on that audio recording. If you hadn't heard that, Detective Kuchler had picked it was either he went to Sakiyna's Instagram or Jennisa pulled up Sakiyna's Instagram to say, this is the girl that has been prank phone calling her friend. And I think at that time they may have compared it to a surveillance picture. And I think she is the one who said, and look at the boots, because in her Instagram photo, she had the boots on that she had on the night when she went to Kayla's apartment. So you got to go back and listen to that. If you hadn't listened to it, and you're following this, then you might want to follow that. Okay. Let's see. And the deposition came from Miss Thompson's Instagram, as we discussed. And the court says came from what? Miss Ross, from Miss Thompson's Instagram. Hold on, let me move this back over. Okay. Oh, okay. As we discussed at the original argument for the motion in limine, and the motion in limine is a motion where they're trying to eliminate particular testimony. And so the first day, if you guys recall, the first day that we did the transcript reading, volume 1, there were a couple of motions that they were talking about. This is when they discussed that matter. So if you're curious about what was the conversation about the motion in limine, I might create like a separate playlist for these transcript readings. So it was volume 1 reading. And we talked about, that was the discussion about the motion in limine. Okay. And the judge said that he would reserve his decision And this is when they're bringing up, we're getting ready to talk to that witness. Are you going to make your ruling? Okay. As we discussed at the original argument for the motion in limine, the reason we're objecting to this is because without the speculation and without the hearsay, what we're talking about is an encounter. And I use encounter in quotes where Jennisa Taitt goes to the club. She says Sakiyna Thompson is already there sitting at the bar, and that Jennisa Taitt walks in and sees Sakiyna Thompson. They don't say anything to each other, and Kayla Hodgson never comes in. Sakiyna Thompson never leaves to go seek Kayla Hodgson. Terry Thurmagen is not testifying. He's not on the witness list. He never went inside. So this is too far removed and completely irrelevant because this, according to Jennisa Taitt, happened around November or December of 2021. We're talking 8 to 9 months prior to the incident. No words were spoken. It's simply she was at the nightclub sitting at the bar and wearing sweats is an entire testimony would consist of. So, Judge, based on that, it's irrelevant. May I respond, Your Honor? Sure. Because counsel just proffered that the court that the to the court that Jennisa made her identification based on Instagram. On page 95 of her deposition, she indicated she does have a stocky walk. I've seen it in person, her stocky walk. It was a thick, heavy walk, but it was stocky. And then her breasts, when she had on a sweater, it was very high. And she indicated that. So you said you've seen her walk before, and that was the question by Miss Ross, but you only had seen it that one time at Showtime, right? And the answer was yes. So the Showtime is the club where she had previously encountered the defendant. And she proceeded to say that she was also looking at the lashes. And so when you saw her walk out after being there for 10 minutes, and from that, you were able to match up the walk from the video, the answer was yes. Okay, then the lashes. And you tell Detective Kuchler her side profile, and she answers yes. And then she was asked, what about her side profile stuck out to you? And she indicated from her lashes from her face because she had a mask on from that. And that's why I went with the lashes. So she has indicated before to Miss Ross in the deposition that she used some of what she observed in the person to make the identification from the surveillance. Miss Ross, Judge, it is the only way that she had even recognized her at the Showtime Club was from the Instagram. And they had been on Miss Thompson's Instagram, and she knew what she looked like. Miss Thompson has videos on her Instagram where she's also walking, Judge. According to Detective Kuchler, that's where the identification came from. Again, even if she has that, even if she says that she recognized her walk, she certainly recognized her from her Instagram, Judge. And just for that, it would not make this relevant because, again, it's much too far removed. And there is a danger here of her making assumptions of why Miss Thompson was there. That's why Miss Thompson is wearing sweats. Where? At Showtime or here? At Showtime. At the Showtime Club. Okay. That I understand that the state's not going to get into speculations, but I'm concerned if you're going to allow this to instruct the witness not to make any speculations or assumptions as to why she was there, that she might have been as what she might have been wearing, because all of those come from hearsay upon hearsay. because it would be Terry texting Kayla, who then texted or told Jennisa. So this is hearsay on hearsay on hearsay, Judge. And again, the danger of being prejudicial far outweighs the probative value of this. The court, I thought the defense is self defense. But be that as it may, I'm going to allow it in, but no speculation with regard to if she knows that that but no regard to if she knows what she is wearing. She can testify she knows what she was wearing. As to her walk and her gait that she saw, she can testify. As to her presence at showtime, she can testify. But she can't testify as to anything she didn't see at showtime, meaning if she didn't see anybody fighting with anybody, if she didn't see anybody arguing with anybody, she won't be able to testify to that. We're not seeking that, Judge. Okay, thank you. Eric, go ahead. We can get them in. Okay, so that was some sidebar conversation before the jury comes in. So they were going back and forth as to whether Jennisa can add in that little tidbit that her impression based on how Sakiyna looked sitting at the bar, that she was ready for a fight. And the reason why Terry was calling, he had called them to come to the club and they were on their way to the club. They got to the club and he's basically telling them, Sakina's inside, don't go inside. So remember, they kind of pulled the dummy move on her. And basically, Jennisa walked in, and I guess she had a friend in there that she was talking to. I guess Terry's friend was in there that she talked to. And she saw Sakiyna at the bar. And I don't know why Sakiyna didn't get a light bulb moment and think, okay, maybe she's outside, but I don't know. I have no idea why she sat there. I would think that if she was that much on her radar and Terry wasn't inside yet, like how she knew that they were coming. I guess it's very speculative because how would she know that they were coming unless she looked at Terry's phone? And if you knew Terry was coming and Terry wasn't inside, unless Terry slipped out, like, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, he never comes back and Kayla never comes in, why she wouldn't have immediately thought to go outside. But anyway, and then they took off. That was Jennisa's testimony. That now, not testimony, that was her witness. That was her witness interview with Detective Kuchler. So if you want to hear that again, I'll put this in the first pinned comment after we finish reading that video with the audio recordings from Detective Kuchler. So you guys can hear that if you never heard that. Okay, so they're getting ready to call Jennisa Taitt, and Jennisa is Kayla's best friend. Okay. Okay. All right, she's been sworn in, and here we go. Here's Miss Johnson, the prosecutor. Miss Taitt, there's a microphone in front of you. So if you can, I know you're a little soft-spoken, speak up and speak into the mic, okay? And she says, okay. Hold on, let me adjust my mic really quick. Okay, my bad. Okay, how old are you? 27. And how are you employed? I am an RN and a bar manager. And a bar manager? Yes. Okay. Where are you from? New York. How long have you lived in Florida? Since I was about 11. Do you still have family in New York? Yes. And since you have family in New York, do you travel to New York often? Yes. Did you know a person by the name of Kayla Hodgson? Yes. And how did you know Kayla? She was my best friend. Would you say that you spoke to Kayla every day? Yes. Were there times that you were visiting family in New York and Kayla would go visit New York with you? Yes. Whenever Kayla visited New York, was she able to stay with you? Yes. How was it that you first initially met Kayla? in a group called Bar Dolls. Explain to the jurors what Bar Dolls is. Bar Dolls is a waitressing serving company that hosts events from bar mitzvahs to weddings to nightclubs. It ranges from different events. Are you and do you provide bartending services? Yes. Through Bar Dolls? Yes. When you're working an event in a nightclub, what kind of outfits do the employees or bartenders at Bar Dolls wear? Form fitting attire. You named some of the services and events Bar Dolls would work. Was that exclusive to just Florida? No. What other states or cities would you work? Atlanta and New York. What did you work at Bar Dolls along and did you work at Bar Dolls alongside Kayla? Yes. Did you know an individual by the name of Terry Thermogen? Yes. I want to talk a little bit about the first time that Kayla met Terry. Okay. Okay. Approximately when was it? August of 2021. All right. So August of 2021. Are you in New York? Yes. Was Kayla in New York? Yes. Why were you and Kayla in New York? We went to work an event at Daydreams. When you were working at an event called Daydreams, is that a party? Yes. Were you providing bartending services this party? Yes. Was it through Bar Dolls? No. What company was it through? Exotic Blends. So, in addition to working with Kayla at Bar Dolls, did Kayla also work with you at a company called Exotic Blends? Yes. Same type of services Bar Dolls provides, correct? And what is the party that you were working in New York that weekend? It was a Jamaican festival. During that weekend, were Terry and his friends at a party that you and Kayla provided bartending services? Yes. And when you and Kayla were providing bartending services at this party, similar to Bar Dolls, did you wear form fitting clothes also with exotic blends? Yes. When you saw Terry and his friends at this party, had you ever conversed with Terry prior to that? No. How was it that you even knew of him? A mutual friend of mine that I was getting to know at the time, he was there as well, and he came with Terry. When Terry was at this so the question, when Terry was at this party with his friends that you and Kayla were providing bartending services, did you ever see a person that became known to you as Sakiyna Thompson at that party? No. Can you describe the interaction between Terry and Kayla at the party? The one we were working? Yes. He was very into her. He wanted to take her he wanted to take her a shot with her, kept calling her over to the table. You've got to talk a little louder. Oh, kept calling her over to the table, wanting to take a shot with her. He was trying to get to know her. At some point, did the party end that you were providing the bartending services? Yes. And what happened after the party ended? They asked us if we wanted to go somewhere else after. And who was they? Terry and his friends. And when you say asked us, who is the us? Me and Kayla. And did you guys agree to go? Yes. Where is that you went after? A place called Showtime in Queens. Describe for the jurors the interaction between Kayla and Terry at this second club. Very interactive, dancing with each other, talking exclusively, being next to each other, and the majority of the night, shots and drinks. Did any woman ever come up proclaiming to be Terry's girlfriend during the time that he was at the club with you? No. Were people taking pictures at the party? Yes. Specifically, were pictures being taken of Kayla and Terry? Yes. Not together, but yes. Describe what you mean. So it'll be Kayla dancing and her face or her hands, her body, or just mostly posting Kayla dancing and having a good time? Was there an incident that happened where Terry took off a particular piece of jewelry that he was wearing and put it on Kayla's hand? Yes. Can you describe that for the jurors? It's something that guys do. They try to show like I'm dealing with you. So they'll take a piece of jewelry and give it to a girl. So he took off his ring and put it on Kayla's hand. And Kayla was dancing with the ring on her hand was in some thought was in some of the videos. Did this ring stand out to you? Yes, it had diamonds on it. It was a big piece of pinky. It was a big piece of pinky ring that he had. And when Terry put this ring on Kayla's finger, did she keep the ring on and continue to dance in the club? Yes. Did you have a social media page on Instagram? Yes. Did Kayla have Instagram? Yes. By the nature of you both working at Bar Dolls and just the general advertisement, did you and Kayla have your Instagrams open to the public? Yes. Did you follow any of Terry's friends? One of them on Instagram? Yes. All right. And from that evening, did you see any videos posted on Instagram that included Kayla and Terry? Not on his Instagram, no. Did you see any on Instagram, period? Kayla was tagged on some of the people that were there. Can you explain for the jurors what that means to be tagged? Basically, when you post a video on Instagram, you can, if it's two people together, you can tag the person that has Instagram as well. And then that person can repost it on their page, basically showing that they were with that person as well. When you tag a person on Instagram, if you're able to see the video, then you're able to see the tag. Can you click on the tag and it will lead you to that individual's Instagram profile? Yes. So if someone tagged Kayla in a post, a person could click on Kayla's Instagram and they go to her page. Yes. In the video that you say where Kayla was tagged, was she wearing that ring? Yes. Did Kayla stay with you in New York that weekend? Yes. And at some point, did Kayla receive a message from someone on Instagram? Yes. And were you present with Kayla when she received that message? Yes. And did Kayla, send you a screenshot of that message? Yes. When the first set of messages came in, was that after you guys got home from the club? Yes. The next day, do you know if Kayla saw Terry? Yes. And how was it Kayla saw Terry? He asked her to dinner. And did Kayla take did Kayla take her out to dinner? They said that wrong. Did Kayla take her out to dinner? Yes, he took her to dinner. Did Kayla, when Kayla was out to dinner with Terry, did she send you a screenshot? Yes, she had received another message and she screenshot it and sent it to me. May I approach, Your Honor? Sure. Showing you the state has marked Exhibit H for identification purposes. H is a screenshot that Kayla sent to you that evening. Yes. At this time, the state would like to enter H into evidence. Any objection? No. It'll come in as number 8. It is number 8. Permission to publish? Yes, you may publish. Okay, my dogs are getting vocal. Just a second. Okay, you guys are quiet. Are you guys intently listening? Okay. Just 1 second. Let me take like a 2-second sip of water. Okay. All right. Okay, let's keep going so we can get through the rest of this. Okay. Okay, so we are at the screenshot. So, prosecutor Miss Johnson is publishing the screenshot, exhibit number 8. And in the screenshot, and hello to everybody coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure to tap the thumbs up for me. And in the screenshot, the blue bubbles is that where Kayla is doing the messages? You're asking me? Yes. Yes, sorry. Okay. That's okay. All right. And we see here that in the last blue bubble where Kayla messaged, "What about last night?" And the answer was the guy with the braids. Was he trying to talk to you or do y'all talk? That's all I want to know. Did Terry have braids at the time? Jennisa says yes. And again, this incident occurred. Was it August of 2021? Correct? Yes. After Kayla met Terry in August of 2021, did she consider Terry her boyfriend? No. Were they ever boyfriend and girlfriend? Never. Can you describe for the jurors the nature of the relationship between Kayla and Terry? He basically, every time he seen her, he wanted to take her to dinner, take her to a party, buy her food. That's about it. When you say buy her food, would there be a particular service that he would buy her food from? Uber Eats, or he would bring it to her? Would he Uber Eats food also when he was in Fort Lauderdale? Yes. To your knowledge, during this time, who was the object of Kayla's affection? Velt. And when you say Velt is a nickname for who? Revelto. And did Kayla ever question Terry about these messages that she received? Yes. And did Terry say that that was his girlfriend? No. He'd always say he doesn't have a girlfriend. That's his ex. You have to speak up. Oh, he said he doesn't have a girlfriend. That's his ex. I want to bring your attention to approximately October, November 2021. Were you and Kayla in New York during that time? October? Yes. And Jennisa says yes. And I'll be specific. Was there a time where you actually encountered the defendant, Sakiyna Thompson, in a club? Yes. All right. And was that October or November of 2021? Yes. Did you and Kayla during the time in New York, during that time, go to a club called Showtime? Again, yes. Can you describe the circumstances surrounding how it is that you guys went to this club? Terry and Kayla went out during the day and she came back home and asked me to come with her to Showtime. Terry offered to drive us and I said, no, I'll drive. She came home, we got dressed, and then we went to Showtime. Were you and Kayla supposed to meet Terry at Showtime? Yes. While you were in the car on the way to Showtime to meet Terry, was Terry repeatedly calling Kayla? Yes. And when you say yes, I mean, can you describe like how it was? Every minute he was calling, and she was declining the call. He kept calling her, calling her, calling her. At some point, did she answer the phone? Yes. And did Terry want her to continue to come to Showtime? Miss Barrios, objection, hearsay. It's sustained. When you arrived to Showtime, you arrived with Kayla, yes. And was Terry there in the parking lot? He was across the street waiting to basically intercept her from going inside. Did Kayla walk over to Terry? Yes. Did you go proceed into inside of the Showtime club? Yes. Did Kayla go inside of Showtime club? No. They left. Did Okay, so did Kayla leave with Terry? Yes. When you went inside Showtime Club, did you see the defendant, Sakiyna Thompson? Yes. What was she wearing? Sweatpants, sneakers, hair tied up. When you walked in, do you know if she looked at you? Yes, she did. After you noticed her, how long had the defendant stayed in the club after that? Probably about 10 minutes. Did you continue to stay at the club? Yes. All right. And were Terry's friends inside the club? Yes. Did Kayla and Terry never return back to the club? Correct? Correct. Let's move forward to December of 2021. All right. Yes. Okay. At some point in December 21, were you on some type of vacation with Kayla? Yes. Our birthday trip. All right. And do you remember this vacation because you took a trip for your birthdays? Yes. And when are your birthdays? She's on the 28th and I'm blank of December. Yes. And during that time, did Kayla indicate Terry that she was no longer going to see him? Portia, hush. That she was no longer going to see him? Yes. Now, you provided several screenshots to the homicide detective in this case, correct? Yes. All right. May I approach, Your Honor? Showing defense counsel that the state has marked as I, showing you that the state has marked I for identification purposes, a screenshot. Yes, yes. And is this one of the screenshots you provided to Detective Kuchler? Yes, yes. And was this screenshot that Kayla had taken and sent you? Yes. Miss Johnson, at this time, the state will enter into evidence. Any objection? No. It's coming in as number 9, permission to publish. When you received the text messages or screenshot from Kayla, did you discuss it? Yes. All right. I'm not going to ask you the nature of your conversation, but when you testified just now that Kayla had indicated that she was going to not see Terry anymore, is this what's indicated in the screenshot within this screenshot? Yes. And so the number that we see here, the blankety blank blank, it also has the profile picture attached to it. Do you see this? Do you see that profile picture? Yes. And this profile picture, do you recognize that profile picture? Yes. And who is that? The defendant. Okay. Is that why she provided this next message screenshot to Detective Kuchler? Yes. Let's fast forward to Memorial Day weekend 2022. Did you know whether or not Terry was in South Florida area? Yes, he was. And how do you know that? Kayla told me she was going out to eat with him. Well, to like a birthday party with him. You said at a birthday party? Yeah. Okay. And again, was your social media Instagram open? Yes. And was Kayla's social media open as well? Yes. This dinner that Terry took Kayla to, did you see a picture of a group picture from a dinner on social media? Yes. Did the social media picture include Terry and Kayla? Yes. At some point, did you receive yourself on your Instagram a message from Instagram account Sakiyna? Yes. At that time, were you social media friends with this profile? No. And so even through your page, even though your page is open, people that you're not friends with can send you a message. Is this correct? Correct. May I approach, Your Honor? Yes, you may. Showing counsel that states marked as J, showing you the state marked as J for identification purposes. Is this a screenshot that you were able to locate? Yes. And in this screenshot, is this what you sent? Is this what was sent to you by Profile Sakiyna? Yes. And her Instagram is still this Instagram. So if you look her up, I think that's what it is. Sakiyna underscore, something like that. So we've looked at it before. So if you again scroll the playlist, it's all in there. Yes. At this time, the state would like to admit J. Any objection? No. Permission to publish. Oh, all right. So at the top here, we have it. The name of the Instagram is Sakiyna. Do you see that? Yes. And the profile picture that's attached To Sakiyna, is that the profile picture that you recognize to be the defendant? Yes. All right. Can you describe for the jurors what it is that she sent you? So it looks like a photo, a picture of her and Terry. And this picture and this person is in the background. Is that Terry? Yes. And you received this picture message during Memorial Weekend? Yes. Of 2022? Correct. Here, where you see accept message request from Sakiyna, does it give you that message alert when you're not friends with that person that's messaging you? Correct. It alerts me of requests. After you received states 10 from Sakiyna, what did you do with this? Did you take a screenshot of it? Yes, I sent it to Kayla. Why did you send it to Kayla? For one, that's my best friend. And what she was trying to show me is somebody that's in the picture that she was just with. So I screenshot it and I sent it to her. Let's break that down, okay? You've got to talk a little slower. Sorry. Kayla's your best friend, correct? Kayla's your best friend, correct? All right. The person that's in the picture is Terry, correct? Correct. And she was just with him. All right. And you know that Kayla just went out on a date with Terry that same weekend, correct? Correct. And were you sending this to Kayla to show her that Terry is with this woman? Yes. Another, you provided additional screenshots that Kayla sent you, correct? Correct. At this time, Your Honor, I'm approach the witness, sure, showing the defense that the state has marked K. Ms. Taitt, showing you what the state has marked as K for identification purposes, a composite of two photos. And in this composite, are these two screenshots that you provided to Detective Kuchler? Yes. Are these the two screenshots that Kayla sent you? Yes. At this time, the state would like to enter K. No objection, permission to publish, all of that. Now, I've been referring to a person named Terry. Did Kayla have Terry's name saved in her phone as Terrence? Yes. All right. And in this particular screenshot, it doesn't have any dates on it, correct? Correct. All right. But within this particular screenshot, there is a photo. And did you also have an iPhone? Yes. All right. And do you see how the photo is showing up? Yes. All right. And do you see in this message thread, are you able to reply to the message? Yes. All right. When you're replying to the message, does the message show up a little minimized? Correct. And is that what's reflected in the screenshot? Yes. It's a little hard to see, but is this the screenshot that we just saw in the state's previous exhibit that you had text to Kayla? Yes. And again, you're familiar with iPhones, correct? Yes. All right. And so this was a screenshot from Kayla's phone, correct? And you discussed the screenshot with Kayla at this point. Yes. All right. And not to get into the nature of the conversation, but you were advised that the blue bubbles is what Kayla's saying, correct? And the non-blue bubbles is what the person on the other end is sending to her, correct? Now, this was, as we established, Memorial Day weekend 2022. Is that correct? Yes. And Kayla and yourself were in New York again for Memorial Day weekend, correct? And do you remember the date that Kayla came to New York? July 6th. When Kayla came to New York on July 6th, was she seeing anyone? Seeing anyone? Did she meet someone new? Yes. All right. And who was the person? And who was that person? His name was Shakur. And did Shakur want to fly Kayla up to New York that weekend? Yes. So on July 6th, which was a Wednesday, did you link up with Kayla at all during the week that she was up there? Yes. And do you remember what day you guys linked up? The Wednesday, that the 6th. You guys linked up the day that she came up? Yes. All right. Did you guys ever go to lunch? Yes, that was the Friday. All right. So on Friday, you guys went to lunch. Correct. All right. After lunch, where'd you go? We went back to my dad's house. When you were at your dad's house, did Kayla call Terry at any time? Yes, he called her. All right. And when Terry called Kayla, did Kayla ask him to do anything? She asked to bring her food. Miss Barrios, objection, hearsay, sustained. Without telling me what anyone said after conversation that Kayla and Terry had, did Terry show up to the house? Yes. Did he show up with food? Yes. Was that unusual? No. After he delivered the food, did he ask for you guys to go to the club with him that night? Yes. Did you guys go to the club to meet Terry that night? Yes. Did you drive yourself or did Terry drive you? He offered to drive, but I drove. When you arrived with Kayla at the club, did you and Kayla get in line? No. He came outside, paid for us to go inside with him. All right. So he met you guys outside, correct? All right. And he paid for you guys to get inside the club. Yes. When you went inside the club, did you recognize that Terry's friends were there? Yes. In addition to Terry having friends there, were there male friends, male and female? Okay. Did any of Terry's male friends, did you notice if any of them had their girlfriends there? From the looks of it, yes. Was the defendant there that night? No. Were there any problems that you had that night? No. Were there pictures being taken that night? Yes. Pictures of the group? Yes. What was being celebrated that night? It was one of the friends' birthdays. And when you say one of the friends, it was one of Terry's friends? Yes. At some point, did you leave the club? Yes. Did you leave with Kayla? No. Do you know where Kayla went? She went to drop one of the friends with home with Terry. So she left with Terry. So she did leave with Terry. Yes. And when was the next time that you saw Kayla? About 6 in the morning. I know Sakiyna, look at I know Sakiyna had to be mad. I'm sure she's heard most of this before because they would have Discovery. And I'm sure that she probably was going through everything that her lawyers gave her. But she got to be mad sitting there thinking, she got to be like, this guy was playing you in front of everybody. And she's just sitting there looking real goofy. I know she got to feel real goofy in prison right now doing a life sentence. This is crazy, right? This is absolutely crazy. Um, let's see. And you know what I'm saying? Like this is crazy. And again, okay, so let me get back to this. Where are we? Um okay. So you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, he ditched you for the night. He took out Kayla, and Kayla got back to her people's house at 6 in the morning. Okay. And did she have to fly out the same day? Yes. And again, was this Friday, July 8th into the morning hours of July 9th? Is that correct? Yes. So let's look at the timeline, guys. Let's just pause for another second. Keep in mind when the murders happened. This happened like soon after. I really would like to know, which I'm sure we're going to find out, when did Sakiyna book her ticket? Because it's sounding like they're setting up the timeline for Sakiyna blowing her top. because Kayla was killed just a few days later. This is July 9th. And Sakiyna, when did it happen? The 12th into the 13th, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 11, 12, 13. It happened. Maybe it happened on the 12th. Okay. She was pissed. Terry took off for the weekend. She was over there partying. She goes back to Florida. Homegirl is blocked. And she decides to now catch a flight. She's pissed because this girl has been around almost a year now. We're going back. They met August of 21. Now we're in July of 22. And Terry keeps ditching her whenever Kayla comes to town or whenever he goes to town. So this is interesting. Okay. And did she have a flight out the next day? Yes. And again, this was Friday, July 8th into the morning of July 9th. Is that correct? Yes. And July 9th was the last time that you saw Kayla alive in person. Yes. Let's talk about the night of Kayla's homicide. Did you talk to Kayla that evening? Yes. Was it normal for you to talk to Kayla even if she was working? Yes. Were you working the same party with Kayla that day? No. Were you even in South Florida that day? I was in New York. The party that Kayla was bartending for that evening, was it posted on Instagram as well? Yes. And at the time that it was posted on Instagram, was it basically advertising the party? Yes. In addition to Kayla's posting the Instagram on Instagram to advertise the party, does she post videos throughout the night? Yes. And was her IG still open the night of her homicide? Yes. Now you had actually spoken to Kayla on FaceTime? Yes. And when I ask you that question, I mean that was kind of during while she was at work, correct? Yes. And those FaceTime calls that you had with Kayla while she was working, was that the last time that you spoke with her? Correct? Yes. At some point you flew down here to South Florida. Yes. And you met with Detective Kuchler. Yes. And did Detective Kuchler show you some surveillance footage from Kayla's apartment? Yes. Once you saw the footage from the videos, did you recognize the person that the focus in those surveillance clips? Yes. Did you provide Detective Kuchler with the defendant's Instagram profile? Yes. And in addition to the screenshot of the text messages that we went over, did you additionally provide Detective Kuchler with a screenshot of the overview of the defendant's profile? Yes. And did you provide Detective Kuchler with a screenshot of Terry's profile? Yes. May I approach, Your Honor? Showing you L and M for identification purposes. All right. So first I'm going to show you L for identification purposes. Is this a screenshot you provided to Detective Kuchler? Yes. All right. And showing the states M for identification purposes. Is this the screenshot you showed to Detective Kuchler? Yes. At this time, the state would like to enter L and M. No objections. Number 12 and 13 item. Publishing states 12. Is this the screenshot you provided to Detective Kuchler of the defendant's Instagram profile? Yes. And publishing 13. And now it's the very poor picture, but this is the screenshot that you provided Detective Kuchler of Terry's Instagram profile. Yes. If you could just have a moment. Yes, you may. No further questions. Thank you. Miss Barrios, 1 second. The judge says sure. Good afternoon, Miss Taitt. How are you? I'm okay. So you were Kayla's best friend, right? Yes. And you guys spoke every single day. Yes. You were very close to the point that you had each other's locations on your cell phones, right? Yes. So it's fair to say that you could tell each other, that you would tell each other everything. Yes. She would confide in you about things that were going on in her life, right? Yes. And you mentioned that you met each other at bar dolls, right? Yes. And at the time, you were both bottle girls, right? Yes. And what does being a bottle girl entail? It's basically like a server, customers order, they'll order at this point, it'll be an alcoholic beverage, you bring it over. So, fair to say that you would meet a lot of men working there, right? It's men and women. Okay, but a lot of men have tables and they ask women to come to tables to have drinks, right? As a server? Yes. As a bottle girl? You no. Okay, but you mentioned earlier that when Terry met Kayla, he asked her to come over and have a shot. You can ask, but it's not very common. Okay. It's your discretion, but it happens. Correct. So you can meet people. You have to be social. Correct. Okay. So now at this time when you met Kayla, she had a boyfriend, right? Yes. Javon, I believe. Yes. Okay. At some point, they broke up and Kayla started seeing guys on a more casual basis. You would agree, right? Getting to know, yes. Okay. She was seeing them, talking to them, texting, not really seeing that much. And one of those guys was Revelto Robinson, right? Correct. And you also knew Revelto, right? Yes. And you were actually the one who introduced Mr. Robinson to Kayla, right? No. You didn't? No. Okay, so how did she meet Revelto? At a party. Okay, were you there? I was there. Okay, and Revelto had a girlfriend at the time, right? We later found out. So he did have a girlfriend at the time. Eventually, we found out. Okay. And during this time, he also seeing somebody, she was also seeing someone named Shakur. No. At some point, she was seeing somebody named Shakur. Can you elaborate what you mean by seeing? She was talking to him, she was texting with him, getting to know him. Yes. Okay. And also had a girlfriend, right? Not that I knew of. Thank you to the person who just sent me a super. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um okay. But you knew through social media it looked like there was a presence of a woman in his life, right? It looked like a presence, but okay. There was no confirmation. Okay. And she was also seeing somebody named Terrence, right? No audible response. Terrence, Terry, seeing, elaborate what you mean by seeing, talking to him because they were texting, getting food from him, texting from him, texting, speaking to him, correct? Yes. Okay. So Terrence is Terry, right? Yes. And Terry had a girlfriend. No, not that we knew of. But you know that he had a girlfriend. Later on, you found out that he had a girlfriend by name of Sakiyna. He never claimed her. I know Sakiyna had to be boiling. He never claimed her. That is so embarrassing. Okay, so you know who Sakiyna Thompson is, right? Yes. Okay. And you would agree with me that Kayla finding out that the man had a girlfriend wouldn't stop her from speaking to that man, correct? Miss Johnson, objection, speculation goes to improper character of the victim. Sustained. And you and Kayla would travel back and forth from New York, correct? Yes. Now, during this time in 2022, you practically lived there, right? At the time of the incident. Yes. Okay. And Kayla would go visit you often. Yes. And there was one time that Kayla traveled to New York from here. And did you and did not see you because she was with Terry, right? Yes. Okay, that was when Terry to flew her out to see him, right? Yes. And she was staying with him. Yes. Ooh. Okay, so now I'm going to take you back. We're going to go back to August of 2021, right? Okay. So I can't get distracted. Okay, I'm trying to not read what you guys are saying. Okay, so let me just stay focused. Okay. So that is when okay. We're going to go back to August of 2021, right? Okay. So that is when Kayla met Terry, right? And you previously mentioned that you had flown to New York to work a party called Dream, right? Yes. And at that party, you and Kayla were working bottle service that night, I believe. Yes. Okay. After that event, you also mentioned that you and Kayla went to another bar, and that is where her and Terry kind of started talking and getting to know each other, right? Yes. And the shot that we just talked about that he offered her, right? Is that where that happened? Where it got offered? No, it was okay. So they started, go ahead. No, continue. So that's where they met. Yes. Okay. That's their first interaction. And like you mentioned, there were people taking pictures and videos, right? Yes. So now later that night, when you got back to your house, right? Yes. Okay. Kayla received a message on Instagram, right? Yes. So this we would call message number one, right? This is the first message. Yes. And this message now came from Sakiyna Thompson. Yes. Okay. Judge, may I approach? I am offering states 8. Can you see this? Yes. Okay, so this is the message, right? Yes. So this is Miss Thompson reaching out to Kayla, asking Kayla to call her, right? Yes. And Kayla writes back asking about what? Like, what do you want? Kayla writes back asking about what? And Miss Thompson says, about last night, right? Yes. Okay. Then the reply that you talked about earlier about the guy with the braids, which we're talking about, is Terry, right? Yes. Okay. So now Kayla did not respond. No. And then you see the next message, which was around 3:05 in the morning, right? Yes. And that was Miss Thompson attempting to get more answers to from Kayla for the second time, right? Correct. And this was regarding Terry because of the picture that had just been posted, correct? They had just been seen together. Yes. Okay. Kayla did not respond. No. Kayla blocked her. Mm, okay. 1 second, Your Honor. Okay. So one of the times that she received a message, she was with Terry on a date, correct? They had gone out to dinner. Yes. And you eventually found out that she was still seeing him, but at first she hadn't told you, right? That she continued to see him. It was really nothing of to tell me that they were seeing each other or still. Okay, I don't understand that. It was really nothing of to tell me that they were seeing each other still. They were just texting because they lived in 2 different states. Okay. So she hadn't mentioned she didn't mention to you that she was talking to him. Yes. After the message? Yes. Okay, she was still actively talking to him. Yes. Okay, and she was in New York, right? Yes. Okay, so now let's talk about going to the concert up there, right? So now the only time we talked about it earlier, the only time that Kayla went up to New York without you was when she went to see Terry. And that was for a concert, right? Yes. And then after the concert is when another message was received, which would say the WhatsApp message. Inaudible. The judge may approach. Yes. Okay. Can you can see that, right? Yes. Miss Barrios. All right. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. Okay. So now this message, right? You're essentially so essentially what we're looking at the top, you're looking at Kayla texting Terry, whoever sent this message, Sakiyna, taking a picture of that conversation and sending it to Kayla. Yes. Okay, so it sounds like Sakiyna sent a message of a text thread between Kayla and Terry. Girl, if I'm understanding, is that what you guys are getting? Whoever sent this message, Sakiyna, taking a picture of that. So Sakina's been in Terry's phone and she was taking a picture of the text. So she wanted Kayla to know I see what y'all talking about, basically. That's what I'm getting. Is that what y'all getting? Okay. Right. So in this conversation, there's more things that are on the top of it, right? Yes. And did you ever receive a screenshot of that? No. So she only sent you this. Yes. And your best friend who tells you everything did not send you the conversation prior to that. There was nothing really to send me because this happened around January. That's why it says leaving you in 2021. Okay. And what? This was after our birthday trip. And yes, our birthday is at the end of December, right? Correct. So this isn't right after the concert. This actually is in January 2022. Correct. Okay. And up here, okay, you see right here, yes, that means that Kayla sent a text, right? Okay. Well, correct. And there was no response, correct? And then Kayla sent another text message. Yes. And the text message says, "All right, Terry, I'll leave you alone for good. I just wanted some clarity," right? Yes. So she cared about Terry. She wasn't just talking to Terry, she wanted clarity. No, she didn't really care about Terry. So when you don't care about somebody, you don't want clarity for that reason. Objection, argumentative, and speculation. Overruled. I can't tell you their dynamic of their that relationship, but basically they would speak on and when they're in town basis. And if he's in town, they'll speak. And if she's in town, they'll speak. So clarity can mean many different things on their dynamic of their relationship. And you would agree with me that that is based on what she would tell you, right? No, I would read her messages too, but this is about a couple of years ago now. But you don't know what she's doing when she's not with you, right? Or what she was doing when she wasn't with you. No. Okay. You don't know the conversations that she was having with Terry when you weren't present. Not word for word, no. Or if there was conversations that you weren't privy to, right? Correct. Okay, so fair to say that there was a conversation on at the top that Terry did not respond and then she wanted some clarity, right? That's where we left off. Now the message was ignored and then Kayla responded again a couple of hours later. A day later, Terry did not respond, right? According to the messages, yes. Okay. And according to this message, she said that she was leaving him in 2021. Correct. Which is how we can assume that this was at the end of the year, right? Because we're leaving somebody in 2021 because we're going into a new year, right? Yes. Okay. And now at this time, your birthday trip was at the end of December. And you know that they're still communicating even after these texts, correct? Yes. And that's because you were present when they were FaceTiming during the trip, correct? Okay. So she didn't leave him in 2021. So, like I was saying, these messages are in January. Birthday trip was in December. So these messages happened in January. December is when we were on the birthday trip, when they were on FaceTime. So it's after these messages if you're pertaining to that. Okay. But so also keep talking to Terry after January 2022, right? Yes. So she didn't leave him in 2021. Not as frequently as they used to speak from the months of August to November. But she was still in his life. Yes. No. What do you mean in his life? They were speaking, they were friends, they were in communication, correct? Yes. He was sending her food? Yes. Okay. So that's not speaking, that's communicating, right? I just have to justify what you're trying to say. That's why. I just have to justify what you're trying to say. That's why. All right. Okay. So they're still in each other's lives after 2022, right? Yes. Miss Barrios, may I approach? Yes, you may. Brief pause. Okay. So 1 second. Now, around the end of May 2022, that's when you received a message on Instagram, correct? And I'm referring to, I believe it states 10. And that's this one right here, right? Yes. So that was sent to you by Miss Thompson. Yes. Yes. And around that time, Kayla and Terry were seeing each other again. We're speaking. Correct. Terry had actually flown down on a guy's trip, right? Yes. And he saw Kayla during that trip. Yes. They went out. Yes. And that outing led to a group picture that was also posted on Instagram, right? Yes. And Terry and Kayla were in it. Yes. And you were not there that night, right? No. Were you working? Yes. And you received this message on Instagram, and it was a video of Sakiyna with Terry in the background, right? Yes. And at this time, Kayla had Sakiyna blocked. Yes. So Sakiyna couldn't reach Kayla. Correct. So would you agree with me that you're the next closest thing to Kayla? Yes. And like you mentioned, you sent it to Kayla. Yes. And Kayla was mad about it. No. And Kayla was mad about it. No. What was her reaction to sending her that? What the fuck? Did you discuss it? I was working when I got the screenshot. Did you discuss it afterwards? Yes. Okay. And she was mad about it? She was not mad about it. Objection, asked and answered, sustained. Okay. So now from here, which was May 2022 until her passing, Kayla and Terry were speaking, correct? Yes. So let's talk about the club incident. Taking back to October, November of 2021. Yes. Okay. So this is when you mentioned going to Showtime, right? Yes. And this is you're up in New York and Kayla went out with Terry and you joined them. You guys met up outside, right? Because you didn't like anyone driving you. Yes. Okay. So you went to Showtime, and is Showtime a bar or a club? It's a bar. And you would agree with me that it's a very popular place? Yes. So a lot of people go there. Yes. So it's not a random spot that you could see somebody and it's on purpose. People are there, right? Like people are known to be at Showtime. Yes. Okay. So you mentioned that when you went inside the club, you saw Sakiyna sitting at the edge of the bar. Yes. She did not engage with you, correct? No. And you said about 10 minutes later she left. Oh God. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay, guys, sorry. Okay, did you engage? Did she did not engage with you? No. And you said about 10 minutes later she left. Yes. And now there was some prank calls that Kayla was getting at some point. Yes. And you and Kayla thought that those prank calls were actually coming from Revelto's girlfriend Nadia? Yes. Okay, during Kayla and Terry's relationship. Let's call it a relationship. He would send her food often, correct? Yes. This would happen whenever she was up in New York. Yes. And also when she was down here. Yes. And when she was also down there, would he would take her out to dinner, right? It was it was one time, yes. And he would also pay her bills. One, he paid her cell phone bill once, right? Correct. And prior to her death, at least at the last time that Kayla was with Terry was around July 6th, 2022. Yes. Like give or take a weekish. July 9th. July 9th. So about a couple of days. Yes. Okay. And that's when you both went up to New York, right? Not together. I was staying there already. She came up after. She went to go see Terry. No, but she did see Terry. She seen Terry, but she didn't come to see Terry. Okay. But she stayed with you. Yes. Okay. Now we also talked about another message that was received and also referring to the state's 11, the composite of two pictures. And you have this message, right? Can you see that? Yes. Okay. So this says Terrence. So that was from Terrence's phone to Kayla, right? Yes. And Kayla replied because she assumed that it was not assumed. She knew that it was Sakiyna texting her, right? Objection to no, Kayla knew. Sustained. Kayla responded, right? Yes. And in this thread, let's just go through it, okay? So in this thread, you have a picture of Sakiyna kissing Terry and it says, "He's good, love. We're home, safe though." Okay. So either that was Terry or Sakiyna, right? So I think it's this picture. Hold on a second. Let me see. That picture of them. Oh, I don't have it in this profile. Okay, guys, hold on. Let me let my dogs back in. I'm sorry. Okay, you guys. And in this, in this thread, you have a picture of Sakiyna kissing Terry, and it says, "We're good, love. We're home, safe." Okay, so either that was Terry or Sakiyna, right? I feel like I have that picture somewhere. That picture, I think that's on the cover. I posted that picture. I'm sure you guys have seen that. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but I'll post it on the community wall. No, we knew it was Sakiyna. So it was Sakiyna, right? So then Kayla replied because it was Sakiyna, right? Objection, Your Honor. Same objection sustained. You just said what did you what was your response? You said it was Sakiyna. Judge, I'm going to same objection. May we approach the court? Sure. Miss Barrios, she answered. So this is the sidebar. Thereupon, following sidebar discussion was held. Miss Barrios says she asked that it was Kayla sending was she asked that it was Kayla sending her. Miss Johnson, she asked the question, this is Sakiyna sending this message from Terry's phone. And she's asking her belief if that's the witness's belief, if that's Sakiyna that sent that message. Yes. But the question I'm objecting to, and Kayla was the one who sent it back because she knew that it was Sakiyna. But she knows that. She has personal knowledge. Yeah, but you can't ask that. It's hearsay. Thereupon the sidebar is concluded. The court objection sustained, Miss Barrios. Okay. So fair to say that the blue bubble is Kayla responding, correct? Yes. Okay. The response says, you just love kissing the lips that be in my pussy. Go off, sis, right? Yes. Okay. So Kayla was taunting whoever she was responding to, right? Okay. So that was Kayla who said that. So her response was, you just love kissing the lips that be on my pussy. Wow. So when was this was this in July? That's why Sakiyna caught a flight. Sakiyna was pissed. When Kayla sent that note, baby, you activate that girl was already crazy. So this is back, this is in July when this happened. Hold on. We're talking about a set of messages in this is the okay. Okay, so Kayla responded. She said, you just love kissing the lips that be on my pussy. Go off, sis, right? Go off, sis, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. So Kayla was taunting whoever she was responding to, right? Objection improper, sustained. Um, may I confer? What's that? Confer permission to confer? Sure. I don't have any further questions, Your Honor. Thank you. The court. Any further questions? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. Do you want to ask questions? Yes, Judge. So redirect. Miss Johnson's back asking Miss Taitt questions again. Miss Taitt, you went over a couple of men that Kayla was seeing or was in some type of relationship with or dating, correct? Getting to know or getting to know. Getting to know. Shakur was one of the individuals, correct? Correct. Shakur resided in Broward County, correct? Correct. Revelto was one of the individuals that Kayla had been seeing, correct? Correct. And Revolto also resided in Broward County, correct? Yes. Javon, who was her boyfriend previously when you guys first met, he also resided in Broward County, correct? Yes. Did you have any type of relationship whatsoever with the defendant, Sakiyna Thompson? No. Have you ever had a conversation with her? No. Have you ever hung out with her? No. Have you ever called her on the phone? No. Have you ever spoke to her on the telephone? No. Any text messages? Nothing at all. When she sent you that message on Instagram, did you reply to that message? No. So you guys never communicated, correct? No, she wasn't a friend. She wasn't one of your friends, right? No, she was not even an acquaintance, correct? Nothing at all. And as with Kayla wasn't friends with her either, correct? No. In fact, on one of the messages that we saw published states 10, this is the message that was previously asking you about. And this message was the Memorial Weekend 2022, correct? And you didn't respond to this message, correct? No. In fact, it gives you the option to accept. Correct? Correct. And did you even accept it? Correct. No. You just screenshot it, correct? Yes. Oh, she paid her absolute dust. Publishing states 8, and Miss Wilkie sent over this communication. This is a text message with you, and in this particular text message you sent, you can see what the account is blocked, correct? Correct. And prior to the account being blocked, there are no other blue bubbles in that, correct? Correct. And in addition, that we see in states 9, and as you went over with Miss Wilkie's, and you went over that this was Sakiyna Thompson texting, after she texts stupid little bitch, she confirmed that she had been blocked, correct? Yes. And the little text messages that came in the state's composite 11, these are messages that were from Terrence's phone, right? Correct. And as you went over with Miss Wilkie's in the state's exhibit 9, this message that we see as a screenshot above the text message at 6:08 is a message that was sent to Terry, correct? Correct. I don't have any further questions. Thank you, the court. Thank you. Ma'am, you're free to go. State calls Detective Alan Ramsur. And they're going to go ahead and swear in Alan Christopher Ramsur. Okay, and we're going to get to this. Y'all, we are in the home stretch of volume 5. Okay. You got your popcorn. Okay. She said, I know. And keep in mind, I'm just going to say this. So you guys, you may or may not know, everybody may not know everything, but so Sakiyna had a baby with Terrence. Okay. Terrence is the guy in the bubble. Sakina's in the red scrubs, in her jail scrubs. Kayla is sipping on her drink, enjoying life. And Terry is Sakina's baby daddy. Okay. She got to be feeling like such a fool. But this is the other thing. At the end of the day, she's sitting here for damn 2 weeks hearing all of this. Terry doesn't even show up. Terry never got subpoenaed by either side. We talked about, like, why didn't they bring Terry? Well, maybe we'll have another conversation about it in the future. Why did they not bring Terry to court? Because Terry probably would have been a really good witness, because Terry had a hand in a lot of what, Terry was instrumental. He was the third party, right? Everybody had other boos, but Terry had, he had the direct link to Sakiyna and Kayla, right? He was not subpoenaed by either party. He was not called as anybody's witness. They never brought him forward. He gave statements. He gave access to certain accounts, but they did not bring him forward for, I'm sure, a few reasons, right? But I'm just going to say this. Kayla obviously deceased, and Sakiyna was sitting in jail all this time. And Sakiyna has to talk to this guy. She had a baby with this man. The baby's almost like 3 baby's maybe 3 now. Every day after court, she had to go, and maybe she was talking to him, maybe she wasn't. But to find out, and all these people coming to talk about, oh, we were at this club, we were at that club, we were socializing, he ditched me, all of these things, and you're asking him how the baby's doing. Like, that's just crazy work. The fact that she sat up there and still dealt with this guy after he had her looking like a fool all around New York City and Florida and South Florida is ridiculous. Anyway, okay, let's finish this up because we are almost done. You see what page we're on, right? We're on page 202 of 211, baby. We are almost done. Let's go ahead and finish this up. Okay. So we are with Mr. Ramsur. Let's see. Alan Christopher Ramsur. We're going to find out what's going on here. Um, Good afternoon, sir. Hi. What do you do for a living? I retrieve video for a living. Okay. And who do you work for? I work for the Seminole PD. I worked for Broward County office for 23 years. So in July of 22, were you working for Broward County Sheriff's Office? Yes. And when you were working for Broward County Sheriff's Office, what was it in the role of retrieving video surveillance? Yes. And within the month of July of 2022, did you go to the Plaza Hotel located at 5100 North State Road 7 in Fort Lauderdale? Yes. And when you went there, did you obtain video surveillance from the hotel? Yes. Showing defense has been pre-marked as states N. Permission to approach. Sir, I'm showing you what's been pre-marked as states N for identification purposes. Have you had the opportunity to look at what is on the exhibit states N? Yes, I have. And what is on Exhibit 10? Does that fairly and accurately depict the surveillance from the Plaza Hotel? Yes, it does. Have there been any alterations or deletions in any way as far as you know? No. Of the surveillance? Okay, Your Honor, admitting pre-mark states 14, no objection. Now, Detective, when you pulled on I'm not a detective, I'm surveillance. I'm sorry, sir. When you pulled the surveillance footage, did you give it to the lead detective Kuchler? Yes, I did. Did you conclude your involvement with the case? Yes, it does. Yes, sir. Any questions? No questions. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, he just basically admitted that into court. Let's see. Let's see. I guess they're going to do some talking. Have you more witnesses today? We actually added him. Yeah, I mean, definitely we've got a very today less space. Yeah, I've okay. When do we come back here? Monday, Tuesday, next Tuesday. So just to give you guys an idea, they started this on I think September 30th, which was a Tuesday. And now they're talking that they come back next Tuesday because there were like two Jewish holidays happening that week. So a lot of stuff was shut down. Next Tuesday, she's going to the island. So who's going? Okay, so Tuesday is when we're back. Yes, we'll have a full day of witnesses. Okay, so we'll do that at 10. Miss Gilbert then with the Tuesday, that's Friday. I'm sure that, and then rescheduling, we had that one juror who had an appointment. I'm going to ask who has an appointment. That was on Friday. I'm going to ask, okay, so we're restarting Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. We're going to ask who had an appointment. It's Mr. Miller. Okay. All right. They're talking logistics. There's no testimony here. Okay. So they're saying right here, having said that, we'll see you back on Tuesday next week. So basically the trial started testimony and they took a full week off because of the Jewish holidays. Okay. And this is when they're talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're done for the day. Having said that, we'll be back on Tuesday of next week. Nothing this week. It's a Jewish holiday. So that's part of the issue. I think I told you guys that when we originally picking the jury. So we'll see you Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Any questions? No. Okay. Anybody, anything for their employers? Okay. So they're basically female juror says, yes, Your Honor, she needs a note. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. But I figured out ways. So anyway, with that, I apologize for waking up if I did wake up and accidentally see it. Okay. Eric is going to give you all the information. Okay. So he's giving the jury their instructions for them to go. saying, Miss Barrios, have a good day. Thereupon the proceedings concluded at 4:24. Okay. And that's all. Can you, okay. So, all right. That's everything. So, what did we learn today, guys? That was day 5. Hold on. That was trial day 5, but it's really testimony day 1. And we had to do it in 2 parts because it's a lot of reading and it gets a little tiring. Again, there is no excuse for killing someone, period. However, I will never call Sakiyna. I will never call Sakiyna. Hold on, let me make this big, y'all. Never call Sakiyna for loving a man. I never been that in love before. That's me. Anyway. I'm gonna be honest with you, Juanita. Um, I'm sure I don't know. She might still think she loves him. Terry did lie to everyone. Terry should have been in court too. Um, trying to defend his act because Terry was being a player. If Terry's guilty of one thing, he's definitely guilty of being a player and playing everybody involved. He played everybody, right? Um Kayla was having a good time and Kayla was having a good time enjoying her life. Okay? Sakiyna was in some sort of alternate reality, thinking that she was in a more serious relationship with someone who was not in a serious relationship with her. And I'm just going to say this as somebody who has 20 plus years of experience on Sakiyna. If you got to investigate, send notes, write letters, threaten people, and you're not saying she should have been doing any of that at all, but you're not addressing this with your man first. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. She has to know that that's not love. Somebody who loves you is not going to treat you like that. This man was doing his own thing. He had Kayla out in front of his friends, socializing, taking her out, enjoying life. He was doing his own damn thing. For Sakiyna to think that she had more than what she had, that's why she's sitting in the Florida Women's Penitentiary now. Foolish and missing your whole entire rearing of a child that you desperately wanted. She's the main fool in this whole thing. At the end of the day, if she was going to be cool about it and let this man and just try to live her life and let this man do what he wanted to do, she might have had her kid and she also wouldn't be in jail right now. She wouldn't be in prison. But to me, she made some dummy moves. She really did. And that's not love at all. And when you say you've never been in that type of love, try to not ever be, because that type of love ends with funerals, prison time, and broken hearts. It's not good. No man, no baby, and a life sentence in a jail that couldn't be any further away from your home state. Okay? A mess. I don't feel bad for Sakiyna at all. I feel bad for Kayla that she had to suffer getting her whole getting all slashed and cut up and all of the things that happened to her. It was terrible. This woman was obsessed with this man. She was obsessed. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Um, there's just no other way to put it. There's no other way to describe dealing with someone in the way that she was, that how incensed, angry that she was over Kayla not responding to her. The fact that the minute that this girl comes to town, or you happen to realize that he has seen her, he's taken her out, of course you're pissed. I mean, it's natural to be mad. I don't fault Sakiyna for being mad, being angry, being enraged, or all of those things. But at the end of the day, She was a fool. She was a fool. She was an absolute fool. This guy played you everywhere and did not seem to care. He was posting her up. He was putting her in front of his friends. He sounded like he didn't give a fuck because he had her in front of the guy friends and their girlfriends. So these are the same people that you're socializing with when it's good. And also her people are coming talking about he never claimed you. As far as they were concerned, he didn't have a girlfriend. So anyway, okay, so we'll get to the next day testimony. Um, what's the next day of testimony? Hold on, let's see. We're not going to get into it now. We're going to shut this one down, and I got to spend some time with my family. But we're going to try and do some tonight. Last night I was just exhausted. I couldn't even do it. I was like, "Oh my god." And Kayla was not bothered. Like, even if she was bothered, I think the fact that she knew that Sakiyna was bothered, that's who was really bothered. I'm going to tell you, whether Kayla was mad or not, or annoyed that Sakiyna was bothering her, the bottom line is that, like she said, you like kissing those lips that be on my pussy. Can you believe that? Like, what? She she gave it to her good. Okay, so tomorrow, so the next testimony is going to be Candace Smith. Candace was the owner of Bar Dolls. Detective John Plummer, Detective Ian Kuchler. Detective Kuchler is going to be on the stand for a minute. Yeah. So it's going to be Candace Smith, John Plummer, Ian Kuchler, and then Miguel Suarez. Okay. So we should be hearing some interesting information. This is what I'm going to say about Detective Kuchler. If you go to my playlist, all of those audio recordings, that's Detective Kuchler's voice. He's the one who's conducting all of those audio recordings with the exception of the body cam of Revolto. Okay. Also, there is a video where I read the detective investigation report, and that was all Detective Kuchler's report. So Detective Kuchler is like the head detective on this case. So that should be some pretty interesting testimony. So we'll get into that. If we maybe we'll start it tonight, like an hour or two. It's very draining to sit and read for like 2 hours straight. And since I've already done it now, but maybe tonight, if I've got the energy, we'll do another 2 hours tonight, or I'll get up tomorrow and we'll do, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll just keep plugging through um and we'll get through this, okay? Because I there's other news going on right now, so I don't want to like dedicate all of my um time to try, but if we get through it, we get through it. Okay. We'll just do it like that. Um okay. Hold on one second. I don't know why. Let me see. I don't know. I don't think Sakiyna was in love with Terry. Um that was obsession. It was something stupid. It was girl. She got to be sitting there thinking now, wow. She got to be she can't in her right mind think that she did the right thing. I'm sure she has tremendous regret, especially knowing um what Terry was up to. Okay. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, you guys. I'm glad you guys were here. Make sure to tap in as you come in. Tap in as you come in. So we will continue. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. But yeah, if I see you guys later on this, maybe. But definitely we'll keep plugging away through this every day, and then you guys have the whole playlist to get caught up. Like I said, I think I'm gonna put these transcripts in a separate. I don't know. I'll see if I should put this in a separate playlist. But it'll be in the Sakiyna Thompson playlist, but I might just create a separate playlist as well just for this. Because this is going to be quite a few videos. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for me. It's very much appreciated. And it helps because just to keeps the motivation. Okay, keeps the motivation. So hit the thumbs up for me, and I do appreciate it. I will see you guys later. Okay, bye guys.